Okay, back to the Sunrise Cup and what could potentially, probably, most likely work out to be my 10x for the month.
If you tick the box correctly.
Oh, don't say that. Don't say that. Joined by Twiggy. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, go check that out. I've got my team breakdown in there with the first 3 rounds. And this battle will be going through the last 3 rounds. I'm currently 2-1. Round 4 versus Tomsky. Mantine, Galarian Stunfisk, as we see everywhere. And then Skarmory and Drifblim with Vigoroth and Abomasnow. So again, immediately thinking Obstagoon, safe, switch. What do you reckon?
Oh yeah, Obstagoon just looks fantastic here.
Yeah.
You're going to have to look out for, I can only assume, we're going to see a lot of Vigoroth. So I'm definitely, again, there's 2 of your picks straight in there, Mantine and Obstagoon. And then, see, this is where I'm seeing the slight downside of Mirror Shot of, I'd want to say Ferrothorn as well, but then I don't know how the Drifloon matchup goes.
Okay.
So I think we're gonna see Drifloon and we're gonna see Vigoroth, I think.
Fair. I mean, he doesn't know that I haven't got Thunder.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So looking at it that way.
Yeah. Again, this is probably not a Dragonite matchup for me because Double Steel plus Abomasnow plus Drifblim with Icy Wind. In fact, there's only the one thing here that Dragonite wants to be taking on. Well, there's 2. There's Mantine and Vigoroth, but given how core they are, I still think that's really the justification enough to bring Dragonite in game 3, perhaps, if he's used Vigoroth and Mantine both games. If I feel like I can, if I want to play a numbers game and try and catch a good lead with it or something like that. So yeah, I think game 1 I stick with my Obsidian safe switch and my Ferrothorn lead, and have Mantine as the Vigoroth counter in the back. Now this is potentially problematic because the only thing I have to take on Abomasnow properly is the Obsidian safe switch. So as long as what I need to concentrate on doing here is trying to get shields down.
Yeah.
Early game. So if Abomasnow does come in late and I have to face it with Ferrothorn and Mantine, I'm going to be able to land those Ice Beams and land the Mirror Shots. So let's press play.
I'm surprised no G-Fisk from you, because actually looking at that now, G-Fisk has some really nice matchups across that team.
It does, yeah, it does. We see this familiar matchup leading into Vigoroth where...
you should learn everyone's leading Vigoroth against your first game.
Well, if I keep turning these ones around, they can keep it up, can't they? So yeah, they normally let the first Power Whip through. Yeah, I had a quick look just to make sure I didn't want to switch. Might we see a Mirror Shot here? Bulldoze, so I can't get to the Power Whip. Mirror Shot comes out. Hey.
It is. 1 out of 4 battles. This is good enough. Still a decent chunk.
Yeah, I mean, you can see how that makes it much easier for me to farm with Mantine. I mean, I don't quite get there in time still, but maybe it's the difference between taking 1 Body Slam and taking 2.
Oh yeah, definitely. So you would have potentially, you'd have been tempted to throw the Bubble Beam, thinking that it was gonna hit you with another Body Slam.
Yeah.
So it's got its uses.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And the fact that I've got those bubble beams, those bubbles, means I can get the Bubble Beam off before he gets the Rock Slide off, which is nice. So I forced him out. I decided to stay in because...
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, because I'd rather have Mantine in versus Mantine than Obstagoon. And both do a job versus G-Fisk. So. Although I have got less health here, so this could be a close finish. and I've got to be careful to not let Obstagoon get debuffed if I don't have Mantine to be able to switch you to clear the debuff as well.
Mm.
So I'd probably shield this. No.
Oh.
Ah, there we go. So I switch now. Yeah, there we go. So now I've got something to switch to clear any debuffs I might get. And I've also got a Bubble Beam on it, which I can hit G-Fisk with. So that Mantine, despite being on a piddly amount of health, is still incredibly useful.
Yeah.
I'm thinking I've got 2 shields. He thinks I'm going to have to use them, so I'll let the first one through.
Would have been silly there to go for the Ice Beam, certainly with the Stunfisk in the back as well.
Yeah, I think so. And I think this time I probably panic and think, right, I've got to use these shields.
Don't want to be stingy now.
No, but again, he does the right thing, or certainly the right thing in my opinion, and goes to the Bubble Beam.
I've never seen an Obstagoon not get any buffs with this amount of Night Slashes.
I've gone for a lot actually.
Yeah.
So here we go. I can go clear the debuff
with the buffs. Oh. Yeah, you know what? I hate overtap. Look at that. Why would it?
And it's interesting because I had the Ice Beam, but I go for the Bubble Beam because I want to be able to counter down the G-Fisk so I can get to the Night Slashes for Mantine. But I go for it a little bit early because I don't want to have to take a Rock Slide to risk not being in Bubble Beam range. And then I think I'm just able to get there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was really.
So you had to think your way around that one.
Yeah, that was a tough game. That was a real tough game, but a real good one.
Oh yeah.
Saving the Mantine was crucial, even on such low health. Game 2. Straight in for the Mantine lead. That's interesting. I mean, Mantine's a good lead here. It beats everything apart from a Bomber Snow. Well, it's got the mirror as well, I guess, but it looks like I've got better IVs.
It's interesting how you're not really. I know you're leaving yourself quite open to a Bomber Snow. Yeah,
I guess I am, but I mean,
it's just a straight away going Mantine, Ferrothorn. You really then restrict what your final pick.
Yeah, but I think in this particular instance, Obstagoon Safe Switch is so nice that it's fine. And actually, with having the Marowak on your team, you're almost daring your opponent to bring a Bomber Snow, aren't you?
Yeah.
I mean, in this particular instance, we've seen the Bomber Snow lead, and it's caught me out. I've gone to the Safe Switch, and he's been able to counter switch me. But again, all that does is leave energy advantage on Obstagoon. So I'm able to get a shield. And what's crucial there is that I've actually taken one of his shields, so I'm at a point where Ferrothorn might be able to take a Bomber Snow on.
Yeah, like you said earlier, you want to focus really getting rid of shields quickly when you know they've got a Bomber Snow on the team.
So I'm going to try and get as much energy on the Mantine as I can, hoping to be able to land a couple of Ice Beams on the Bomber Snow when it comes back in. No point in me shielding this because I know the Bomber Snow is going to come back in. Although he makes an interesting play, switches to his own Mantine. I'd already gone for the Bubble Beam trying to finish off the Vigoroth, so I get the debuff, which is fairly handy because now the Ice Beams on Ferrothorn aren't going to do as much.
And I'd certainly assume on the opponent's going to go for a couple of Bubble Beams first, because you don't particularly want to throw the shield into Mantine, and you don't particularly want to go down very quickly to the Thunder.
No, yeah, and I think this particular instance, Thunder probably would have been very useful. But then the only reason I've still got a win condition left in this matchup is because I've got Mirror Shot for the Abomasnow anyway. So 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
Yeah.
I guess. Because look at that, after a couple of debuffs, Power Whip is just pitiful.
Still, yeah.
I mean, when you consider what, a Thunder would still be doing like 70%, I guess. So I imagine I'm just going to try and farm down now, and then try and clear any debuffs by switching.
Oh yes. Oh, you've called every single one of the moves there correctly, which really helps in your favour.
Yeah. So there we go. I'm able to switch to clear the debuff and then the Ice Beam.
Potentially get to a Bubble Beam here as well.
It'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
If I'd have gone for them the other way around, I might have been able to.
Yeah.
But he's got a lot of energy now, and Mirror Shot's just not going to quite do enough.
Those little things, isn't it? You want to get the big damage off quick.
Yeah. Maybe if I had thought about it a bit more, rather than I think Bubble Beam first there was the play. Again, we see how pitiful Mirror Shot is damage-wise.
Yeah. But of course, this whole video I completely forgot. Mirror Shot's going to be super effective against Abomasnow.
Oh right, fair enough.
Yeah, silly typings.
So yeah, there we go. It looks like it's going to go down to 1-1 here. Yeah, and he's got Vigoroth in the back, of course. So
yeah.
1-1. Now maybe I'll be a bit more cautious of Abomasnow in the third. All 3 Mons remaining. I mean, they were all low.
Yeah. Oh, man. You gotta bring Stunfisk, surely. Oh, straight in with.
So yeah, 2 of Abomasnow counters this time. I've seen him using Mantine and Vigoroth a lot. So I like the Dragonite lead. The G-Fisk is going to be a massive issue here, but there we go. That makes me even weaker to G-Fisk. Like
I would have thought you would have swapped it out for the Marowak rather than the Obstagoon.
If he leads G-Fisk against this team, I just lose.
Yeah.
Surely I've got to bring Obstagoon somewhere. Yeah. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is it. I'm playing the numbers game. I'm banking on him leading the Vigoroth or the Mantine. From what I've seen so far, that's what I think he's going to do.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
We've seen how this matchup plays out before. Going to get to a Dragon Claw before he gets to the Ice Beam. And again, I'm reasonably short. Go on, mate, sorry?
I was going to say that Dragon Breath damage is just insane, isn't it?
Mad, isn't it? And I know with what I've got in the back, being Marowak and Obstagoon, I've got to win switch.
Yeah.
So, no chance of me not shielding that. Into Skarmory, so I'm straight out into AWAC, which again isn't a hugely great matchup.
It's only the Brave Bird that's going to really do a significant amount of damage to you.
Yeah.
And certainly you either match the shields if you throw the Avon Phone Club Baby. I was going to say, I normally like to just go straight Shadow Ball and just see how we're playing it.
Yeah. Well, one thing I thought was that he's got 2 shields there. So he's probably going to want to spend one.
Yeah.
And I thought going for the bait would probably allow me to get to the second one as well. So it was a bit of a risk. I calculated one, I guess.
How a Fire Spin's doing that much damage to a Mantine?
You see a Abomasnow.
Oh yeah, that's lovely.
Yeah, so it's worked out nicely.
Yeah.
even though he did bring 2 Dragonite counters, actually. Dragonite anywhere else would have been a disaster there for me.
That's the fun of the 3s, isn't it?
That's true. So he goes for energy ball here. So I've got I know he's got no energy left, so I could go to Dragonite to finish him off because Dragonite, isn't it?
That's what it's not fair. You're finishing off on a Dragonite's hardest counters with Dragonite.
Yeah, there we go. Up to 3-1 now. Round 5. Callum.
Oh,
fellow gymmer.
Yeah.
It's got the Quagsire, which I'm a big fan of. So it's got Vigoroth, Mantine, Quagsire, G-Fisk, Ferrothorn, AWAC. There's absolutely no way I'm bringing Galarian Stunfisk here. No way.
No, and I'd also hazard a guess that you're also going absolutely no go for Marowak.
That seems sensible as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But what I do like,
Ferrothorn
looks good, doesn't it? Now, what I do here is, I played the numbers a little bit here. He's only got 1 Dragonite counter. So I think, right, I'll just lead Dragonite. I think between...
Does Quagsire struggle then?
Quagsire beats it in the zeros.
Yeah, I would have thought that with Stone Edge. Just thinking, in the lead in the 2 shields, I assume Dragon Breath is going to delete it before it can really get to much against you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you can switch Dragonite in on Quagsire because Quagsire has a lot of HP, so it's difficult to farm down. So yeah, but I just feel like I've got a 5 in 6 chance of winning the lead, and then I bring Ferrothorn and Obstagoon in the back. Again, I like my Obstagoon save switch.
You've just gone for a very sensible line here, haven't you? Because you get caught out by the Stunfisk in the lead. You've got 2 good Stunfisk counters in the back.
Yeah. And I also feel like I can play a little more aggressively with Ferrothorn here. I mean, I don't like using Ferrothorn in the back because of Marowaks. But again, this is one of the reasons why I like having Obstagoon, is that it's just that extra little bit of bench pressure against Marowak. So
yeah, certainly if you had Vigoroth here, I really would have thought Marowak would have rid its face, but you just know how bad the Obstagoon matchup can be. Yeah, it's dangerous, isn't it?
Now, I remember this whole set versus Callum quite clearly. So, and what I will say is this is some prime Dragonite play, both bad and good. So let's get into it with Dragonite, Vigoroth, Obstagoon. This is going to show the best case and worst case scenario with Dragonite. So lead it straight into Galarian Stunfisk.
Your leads in the first round, really.
So I do my safe switch to Obstagoon. Imagine using a safe switch that's 4 times weak to counter when Vigoroth's in the net. I'm either an idiot or I'm a genius.
Well, you've certainly pulled something off here.
Well, this is it. In practice, it's a lot better than it seems, because he gets the shield. I go back to Dragonite now. I know that there's no point me saving Dragonite's health because he just comes in with G-Fisk afterwards. So he's got a load of energy, so I'm just going to let him expel it all over the Dragonite. And just hope that Ferrothorn can pull through, knowing that Vigoroth is gone. And that, as we've said before, I feel like it's quite brave to bring a Alolan Marowak versus me.
I got the counter through, but I tell you what, if you pull this off, I'll be impressed. Oh, well done, Cal. You done something to make me look good there, haven't you? Oh, what a move!
Yeah, again, not going to throw because I don't want to
No.
show that I've not got thunder. So.
That's brilliant. That.
Now that went horrifically, right? No bones about it.
Just a little bit.
Now, in my head, I'm thinking, there's no way that could happen again. So there we go, straight to the Dragonite lead again. Obviously going in the back, but Man Team this time. Now I know he's a bit less scared of using Marowak.
Hmm.
And then I think what I did here was I just put my phone down a bit to make it look like I was thinking about it a bit more.
Okay.
So we'll probably just have to
skip games here.
Yeah, probably just have to skip this bit.
2 hours later.
Yeah, you've really gone for it here, haven't you?
Here we go.
Oh.
And it works much better for me this time. So again, we've seen this play out before.
We like how this goes.
Yeah. And when you compare this matchup to how the Altaria matchup played out with Rob in game 1, in round 1, where it was CMP, this is just a much better position to be in as the Dragon type user. But Cal pulls out the Bubble Beam.
Oh, what a play. So you've still got energy, but you're not going to be hitting as hard. But then again, yeah, you can now save Dragon Claw for something.
Yeah. So I stay in a little bit knowing that the mud shots aren't going to do anything.
Yeah.
And then I go to Man Team, which is interesting.
Yeah, because a lot of energy now on that Stunfisk.
Yeah. But also there's a lot of energy on my Dragonite.
Yeah, nothing else is really going to want to... Well, he's not going to get to anything that's going to stop you getting to that outrage, is it?
No. And I guess by going to Man Team late, leaving him with a bit of energy, I'm sort of tempting him to stay in.
Yeah.
Come on, let me get the Bubble Beam. There we go. So we'd like to see. Now, if I remember rightly, I play this a bit strangely because I think I forgot what you had in the back. So you would think going to Dragonite here and just playing and staying in would be the play, and it is the play, because you want to keep Dragonite away from Stunfisk. But then I go into Obstagoon to do a bit of farming.
Slightly dangerous play.
Yeah, for some reason I had it in my head that he had something in the back that was that Dragonite could take on. Obviously, it isn't the case.
It's so weird, this game, isn't it? You think you got good memory. You're only remembering 3 Pokemon.
Yeah.
That's all you've got to remember is 3 Pokemon. You've got this...
I'm under no illusions. I know I've got a bad memory, but I didn't think it was this bad. So yeah, go for the Night Slash. Just boost chance. Into G-Fisk. Again, go for the boost chance.
Yeah, you know you're going to get the shield here anyway, aren't you? So you might as well give yourself a chance of raising your attack.
Yeah, and I think at this point, after a few counters, I think at this point Dragon Claw can probably take it out, but I'm so close to another cross chop that I can just go for it.
Yeah.
So
you're just making the videos interesting, aren't you?
Something like that. Yeah.
There's a potential it's going to appear on the channel. Let's just make it a little bit tasty.
So game 3, I changed tactic completely. I can see him just trying to pick the most anti-Dragonite team possible. So I'm thinking something like perhaps G-Fisk, Mantine, and then either Vigoroth or Quagsire. So I'd choose not to lead Dragonite by putting it in the back. but I can't. I'm trying to think about how the line might work here. So I've got Marowak there to try and draw out a G-Fist, perhaps. But I think in the end, I just choose not to run Dragonite.
Yeah, I mean, I would have been tempted to throw an obstacle lead in here.
To try and catch their G-Fist.
Yeah.
Well, Mantine's doing the same there, I guess.
Yeah. I just feel a bit shaky with the Mantine G-Fist matchup, if I'm completely honest.
Yeah, fair. You only need a little bit of lag or desync or something.
Yeah. Certainly when you know you're not getting to the bubble beam before, I think that's where Mantine really stands out, is getting that debuff before someone else can throw something.
Yeah.
And that G-Fist matchup, you're not high.
No, agreed. So yeah, it looks like I've changed my mind again to go for Ferrothorn lead. I was proper thinking about this. There we go, back to Mantine. I'm reasonably sure I don't run Dragonite. There we go, Obstagoon, Marowak.
Yeah.
That looks better.
Have we not seen Quagsire yet, have we?
No.
No, so yeah.
And Quagsire will give Mantine problems.
Oh yeah, of course it will.
I don't know the matchups. I mean, obviously it decimates Marowak, but I'm assuming that Obstagoon can just about hold it off because of how spammy it is.
Yeah, Vigoroth can hold it off reasonably well from what I've played. So, and Obstagoon, I assume, can do a very similar job.
Well, this is good because AWAC and Obstagoon have pretty good coverage between them, so I'm able to try and win the lead here. Shield early. Don't want to let that full power rock slide through. Overfarm just a little bit because I want to land the bubble beam before he throws the next rock slide. But if he chooses to switch out now, I've got a bit more energy.
Okay, yeah. And I suppose the mud shots are doing absolutely nothing to you, so there's absolutely no gain in throwing it as quick as possible.
Yeah, exactly. I've got to be careful as well because I know I need my Mantine to beat his Mantine.
Yeah.
Because Obstagoon, as much as it's very good, don't want to rely on it to beat Mantine.
So we've seen the shield there, so potentially someone in the back or just going for switch advantage here.
Yeah, but that made me really happy because I know Mantine beats it in the ones.
Yeah.
And I believe it beats it in the one straight bubble beam. So I was able
There we go. Yeah.
save a bit of energy that way. Well, save a lot of energy. I saved 15 on the charge move and got another bubble in. So, so that was handy.
And now I like this, knowing that I've got a Marowak in the back.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Go on, get to another one. There we go. Because now, even if he does land a bulldoze on the Marowak, which he will because he's got a lot of energy, it's going to be neutered to the point where he has to switch out, and then this is perfect because I can line up the Obstagoon away from the Vigoroth.
Yeah.
Marowak away from Quagsire. Yeah. So yeah, he brought the
Brought the Quag this time.
and saved it for the back where it would have been zeros as well, or close to it. So, so the instinct was right, really, of an anti-Dragonite team. Because even Vigoroth gives Dragonite a hard time. It forces both shields out of it. So,
yeah, just seeing how much that body slam did was crazy.
Yeah, it does a lot. Do I not shield this?
I mean, I'd be tempted to not shield and farm down with Marowak.
Well, that's what. Do I go Mantine? Because mud shots.
Oh. Come off it. That's not fair, is it? calculated, I think, is what your response should be, but that's just not fair.
Yeah, it was a bit mean, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, that's the third time now a Mantine on low health has been very useful.
Yeah.
There we go. Top tip: worth saving the Mantine. Yeah, shield this one.
Yeah. Fire spin is just such an aggressive move, isn't it? It really chunks.
Yeah. And he's got the shield, so it's more efficient just to go straight for the fire spins. There's no chance of that being anything other than body slam. So yeah, there we go. 2-1 versus Cal.
Yeah, some really good plays in that. Some really good plays.
It was fortunate after being battered so hard game one. It was fortunate that I just sort of called him. I guess.
Yeah.
That's it. 4-1 and into the final round versus David is here. I was speaking to David, or I presume his name's David anyway. Speaking to David.
You would have thought so.
Yeah, you would have thought so.
Or he's just a big fan of someone called David who is here.
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah, that's true. It could possibly be that. Speak to him afterwards, and I know he watches the videos, so shout out to David. Very interesting team, Shadow Swampert.
Now, I did mention this to you before the chat and shit videos, didn't I? That would it be time for me to TM my Shadow Swampert?
Oh yeah, because Twiggy's not got a Hydro Cannon Swampert, so
no.
If you're gonna ETM one, you ETM a Shadow, surely. Yeah. Personally, I don't think this is the cup for Swampert. I think Quagsire is the best mud play here, personally, because of the Stone Edge for Mantine. I see Double Water, I see Glaring Stunfisk, I see Vigoroth and a Bomber Snow, which are sort of fine. So I'm seeing Ferrothorn lead with 2 AWAC counters, and I've got lots of AWAC counters. I've got 4, in fact. So lots of choice here. What do you reckon? What do you see?
Yeah, so I certainly see a Ferrothorn play. I think again, Obstagoon looks lovely. So I'm not too versed in the Shadow Swampert Obstagoon matchup, but I assume you're still going to be chunking, aren't you? Because it's a Shadow variant.
And I still don't think Hydro Cannon will be enough to one-shot me.
Oh no, it won't one-shot, but
maybe an Earthquake, perhaps. But
would you be running Earthquake this cup though?
Well, no, I don't think so. I think I'd be running Sludge Wave to hit a Bomber Snow.
Yeah, and you definitely want Sludge Wave to hit some of the flyers as well.
Yeah, Mantine in particular, I guess.
Yeah. No, I can definitely see Mantine here. You know, you got to look out for the Bomber Snow, but if you have Obstagoon being your hard counter, and you've done this play before, haven't you? Leave yourself a little bit weak to a Bomber Snow.
Yeah. So I start off with Ferrothorn, Obstagoon, and Mantine.
I think that Swampert mixed in with a Stunfisk really keeps Marowak away, doesn't it?
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, get a nice lead.
I certainly think in the twos, not having the Thunder isn't that much of a detriment to you.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. So yeah, see the a Bomb Snow switch, and I have the Obstagoon there to counter switch to it. So that's worked out nicely. You go straight for Energy Ball, which is interesting.
Now, I think when you're in this sort of heavy counter matchup, you're just going to go for your hardest hit move, aren't you?
Yeah, especially if you're unsure whether you'll get to 2 Weather Balls or not.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he does get to 2 Weather Balls there, but I think the end result is probably about the same.
Yeah. Certainly now when you know that Vigoroth can counter down.
Yeah. So I am able to get the shield off Vigoroth as... There we go.
Obviously.
Like, that made you so happy.
I just knew it was gonna happen. You've done so many Night Slashes.
Yeah, so then it's looking solid for me here already, because I've got Ferrothorn in the pack to deal with Mantine. And this is what I like about mons like Ferrothorn. I think ages ago now I did my London's Finest Sinister Cup video, which is a year ago, around this time a year ago when I actually did that tournament now, which is just mad. And I was picking up Slowbro because you could lead it with the intention of it beating the steel types, but actually if halfway through the game you needed it to beat a fighting type, it could. And Ferrothorn does something similar here with G-Fisk and Mantine. So yeah.
It's a really good underrated mon, isn't it? This meta.
Yes, agreed completely. So yeah, we've seen again the lack of fun is not really harming me.
No, if anything, it's doing bits for you there, isn't it?
Yeah,
because you can and the amount of energy you're coming out with as well. Oh, I'd been tempted to go double mirror shot.
I think I get mirror shot.
She really not wanting to reveal, is it? Or can you get to her? Oh.
Yeah, well,
you've got too much health on Mantine for it to really have mattered.
Yeah, for sure. Sure. So, just thinking ahead now. So he, so we see the Ferrothorn lead, and that's caused him problems. So I'm already sort of half bracing myself for a Vigoroth or AWAC or a Bomber Snow lead the next game. I do like the Ferrothorn lead. I've used it a lot, as we've seen, but I tend not to lead it twice in a row.
Yeah, no, you don't. Yeah, it's risky that. So, mixture of those mons.
Well, I do go straight for it again.
Yeah.
Mantine's safe switch looks good because, again, a Bomber Snow is the only thing that's going to take it on nicely, but it's not what I want it is. Ice Beam's still there. AWAC.
I can certainly see the play of the AWAC lead when you're talking about the mons that are going to counter the Ferrothorn.
Yeah, especially when the mons I've just shown him all are quite happy to take on Swampert and Mantine.
Yeah.
AWAC feels quite safe here. And I like AWAC and Mantine as a pair. They have good coverage. So, although if I remember rightly, I bring Dragonite over Mantine here. Couldn't tell you why. Maybe for the Mantine matchup, because I'm looking. Well, I am very weak to Mantine here. So it would make sense, especially if I'm saying I don't want to bring Ferrothorn. I think Dragonite is the play here over Mantine. There we go.
It's almost like you knew what you were doing.
It's almost like I knew what I was doing exactly. So again, got the Obstagoon and safe switch, which I just think is fantastic. Marowak lead into a Bomber Snow, beautiful, just very lucky. So he obviously switches out, and I can go into Dragonite, keep it away from. I mean, I could have happily stayed in with AWAC, but
yeah, but when you've got something that is as hard a counter in the back, you don't want to line them up. Just get out of the way. Get out of the way now.
Precisely. So we saw this play out earlier where Vigoroth won the twos because it was a rank 1, so I'm just hoping that the same thing doesn't happen again.
We should have kept note of the CP of the rank 1. But that doesn't. Yeah, this one looks okay, doesn't it?
Yeah, just maybe the rank 1's hitting a bulk point versus me.
Yeah.
I took my time shielding that, actually. That was strange. Oh, this is fun.
Oh, we're not going to see a shield. That's disgusting. That's just disgusting.
and G-Fisk in the back, and I've still got. I mean, even a shield down, this will do a lot of damage, and then Marowak can just finish him off.
Yes, it's going to need potentially an Earthquake and a Rock Slide to get rid of you here, and then an Earthquake to get rid of Marowak before the Fire Spins do a lot of damage. So
yeah. So I go for Cross Chop first to get the damage, and then Night Slash second, the buff chance, knowing he's going to shield. I think if he'd have shielded the first one, I'd have just gone Cross Chop again. Although I don't actually think there's a great deal of difference between the damage. Actually, probably need to look into that.
I'd say there's a couple of HP, no more than 5 potentially between them. Just because, like we said, Cross Chop without stab, it's super effective. But the Night Slash does have the stab, so we're
and Night Slash isn't a particularly hard hitting though either.
No.
So yeah, there we go. Managed to finish that one off. Dragonite coming in big again.
Yeah, really big there.
But again, winning the league was crucial because he had 2 Dragonite counters. So we got a bit lucky, really. But I guess that's part of the difference between Silph format and GBL content is that based on what you think your opponent might do, you can make these risks, I guess, to take these risks.
Yeah, it's a calculated risk, isn't it? Really, because you it's your second game against the same opponent, and you know how well you've done in the first game that's caused the leads to be like it is, and you can sort of make it is an assumption, but at the same time you keep doing it more often than not, so you're lining things up based on previous knowledge and stuff like that.
And especially at 1-0 up in the best of 3, you've got a bit of wiggle room to make a mistake, haven't you? So yeah, in the third. So I'm 2-0 up. So in the third, I just go back to the first line that worked so well. About full lead with Mantine and Obstagoon in the back.
Certainly. First time we've seen your opponent take the time.
Yeah, it's unusual. I mean, it's unusual. I mean, to be honest, normally I don't spend quite so long thinking as I have done this tournament, which is perhaps a sign of progression on my part. I even have a chance to check my notifications. Oh dear. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, there's some people I know who do take longer than others to pick teams, and when I'm against people that take ages, I often try and take longer as well. Like, I'll often just put my phone down for a minute before I even thinking about what I want to pick, and even then, sometimes I've still picked faster. So, yeah, we see this lead that we've spoken about before, where Vigoroth will win fine, but then I've got rid of Obstagoon's big counters, so not the end of the world. Power Whip does a lot of damage. I go for the Mirror Shot. Tank what is presumably a Bulldoze at this point.
Yeah. Oh.
So I try and change my mind and go for Power Whip.
Yeah, you clicked on the mirror, haven't you?
I get the shield and the attack drop. So that's what we like to see. My Ferrothorn IVs are really bad, so maybe if I had a good one, I'd be able to would have been able to get to a second one there maybe. But actually, it doesn't really matter because now he's just farmable with his attack dropped by Mantine.
I was going to say, I don't think I've ever seen a CP of one of yours be that low.
Well, Ferrothorn had just come out when I wanted to use it for Sinister Cup.
So you went with just your best at the time.
Yeah, and it was quite uncommon because it was before Power Up Punch got nerfed, so people were running Power Up Punch on Poliwrath rather than Dynamic Punch. So having and Poliwrath was like the best fighter in Sinister in my opinion. So having a Steel type that can beat the fighting types was just beautiful. So yeah, we've seen me stay in the Mantine mirror here. Just because Mantine's better versus Mantine than Obstagoon is, really. Nothing more to say on that. Straight Ice Beam, gonna get the damage.
Oh, not tempted by the shield. Farm down.
No, he's at such low health now, and his Vigoroth's at such low health that Obsidian with the extra energy,
Yeah.
to take on whatever really. So yeah, save the shield for the Vigoroth. I think I farm down here.
Well, I'm interested to see how much Vigoroth can take off you.
Oh no, he goes.
Oh no.
There we go. We see the Shadow Swamp.
Yeah. It's going to do a hefty chunk, though, I assume.
That's a lot of damage for a very weak
Yeah.
move, that, isn't it? So it looks like he's saving up the back-to-back.
Sensible, sensible.
And it looks like I'm going to be able to farm him down and come out with a charge move to throw the Vigoroth.
Mm. Yeah.
So unless he's got Earthquake here, which he can't have.
Is that just over 100 energy, isn't that? Earthquake and Hydro Pump.
Yeah. So there we go, able to get the last counter down on the Swampert to throw the cross chop on the Vigoroth. So yeah, end up winning that one 3-0. Coming out 5-1, 13 out of 18. If you'd have offered me that before the month, I was doing so badly in practice, I would have absolutely snapped your hand off for that. So really pleased with that. So what do you reckon of the team overall then? I know we're a bit. I mean, look, we spoke about Mirror Shot to begin with as being a bit of a. It's been a very bad move. But I don't know whether you agree, but I don't feel like I lost anything by not running Thunder.
I think there was one occasion, but the game was pretty negative in your favour anyway.
Yeah, okay.
I think we mentioned once in the video that, yeah, Thunder would have been really nice there. Again, yeah, like you said, if you don't feel like you need to press the Thunder, you know, you're getting in situations where you, as strange as it sounds, farming down the flying type with Bullet Seed, you get, you know, you're getting in those situations with power. Whereas if you go straight Thunder, you're A, leaving yourself in a bit more of a farm range, and B, you've not got the energy yourself.
Mm. Yeah, it's a double benefit, really. Yeah, it's a double benefit, really. Yeah.
Yeah, I certainly, yeah, but whereas we certainly didn't see the big play of Mirror Shot. I think we saw it a couple of times. I think at the same time, again, we didn't see the detriment of Thunder. So
yeah, and
I think it's good.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Flash Cannon's better, just because of how poor Mirror Shot is. But then Mirror Shot getting that extra chip damage versus Vigoroth leads is pretty nice. I don't know. I think I'm going to stick with it. I mean,
yeah,
I'm in 3 tournaments already. I'm in 3 tournaments already that I've got to stick with it. But
yeah,
I think I'd stick with it.
And the Abomasnow situation that we saw, you're not baiting. You can't bait with Power Whip and then get to the Flash Cannon. It wouldn't happen, and you can manage to get 2, slightly better energy leads. You could potentially get to 3. So yeah, I don't see where you're ever going to get into a zero shield situation with a Abomasnow.
No.
Where you're going to be able to get to Flash Cannon.
Yes. Yeah.
Because if the opponent's leaving a Abomasnow with 0 shield, you're anticipating it's going to have an energy lead on you anyway. Yeah,
I mean, even with Mirror Shot, it's not a nice matchup to be in. Like, a little bit of energy swings it, and I mean, you're polishing the turd really, but it's better than not having it polished, I guess. Yeah. And what Dragonite? Thoughts on Dragonite?
I don't think I could use it. I don't think I've got the nerves.
I mean, what I will say is, so before this tournament, I'd done 4 games across 3 slow tournaments, and every time I'd used Dragonite in those 4, I'd lost, I think. So the wins all came at once with it, which
Yeah.
was quite fortunate on my end. And we saw a couple of times where winning the lead is so important with Dragonite. And if you're, or whether Dragonite's the lead itself or whether it's something else winning the lead, it's important. And in a cup where winning a lead, I don't think is particularly important. And Vigoroth and Mantine are popular, like really popular. I think it's if you're really unsure of what to do, or if you're really confident your opponent's going to lead something like Vigoroth or Mantine, it can be a bit of a get out of jail free card, in a sense. You can turn games into RPS in a meta where games aren't RPS, and normally I'm all for. Well, normally I'm dead against RPS, but if you offered me a cup where it's all RPS, but I'm going to win 66% of leads, I'd take it. Like it's so sometimes it feels like I'm in that situation when I'm winning Dragonite, but
No, I really like it when it's in that you had the comfortable matchup against Mantine. I think that matchup's incredible. Seeing the Vigoroth rank 1 do what it did, it's those uncomfortable moments, where I'd throw my energy when I shouldn't, or I wouldn't throw it when I should. I can certainly see its play, but for me, the Mantine matchup's lovely, but I would feel so uncomfortable bringing it in the back.
Oh yeah, it's not fun.
So uncomfortable.
Right then. Well, let's leave it there for now, mate. Thank you for joining. Been good.
It's been a pleasure. Can only apologise for the Art Deco in the above me. My flat did decide to flood, so it's not me throwing water at the ceiling. It's water coming through the ceiling.
In anger when you lose the lead versus Dragonite.
Oh yeah.
No worries. Right, catch you later, bud.
In a bit, dude.